9 in the morning, and today's goal is putting a coat of primer paint all the way around the sleep out. We've made a lot of progress in here. It's been slow and steady, but we had a plasterer come in to professionally fix all of the cracks, essentially different pieces of plasterboard. They hadn't been properly assembled. Usually you put like a tape between where each board meets so that if there's any movement, naturally, buildings expand and contract with heat throughout the seasons, that doesn't break, and then you get these big cracks. Well, there were cracks all throughout here. So a lot of these walls have a plaster color, which is like a tan, and then the building itself is white. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna work my way all the way around the building today, applying a primer coat. Hopefully we'll only need one coat. I have been in here the last few days filling in gaps. So where the big cracks were on the main plasterboards were plastered over, but then, essentially all the way around the top where the scotia has been, like, there are cracks all throughout all of that. So I've been using the no more gaps, fill in all the cracks throughout the whole building to kind of get it ready to paint. And one of the things that I've noticed throughout this whole process is that, oftentimes it's the preparation to do a job that takes the most time. And especially with painting, it's like paint prep really just takes up a lot of time. So we've been juggling and kind of doing a little bit here and a little bit there, but we really do want to make progress on this building, and it's in my hands. I gotta paint this. So let's get started. Honestly, I like doing this type of work. It's fun, especially the plastering part. Like, there's still some holes and stuff that need to be cleaned up, and there's something very innately aesthetically pleasing about taking something that's damaged and repairing it, fixing it up, making it look nice, and then afterwards painting it and not even being able to see that there was ever any problem beforehand at all. I don't know, there's something philosophical about that. Oftentimes in life we have things that aren't bad. They're not, there's nothing really innately wrong with them. They just need a little touch up, a little bit of love, a little bit of TLC. And there's something beautiful about giving that TLC, cleaning a place up, and turning it into its best self. Maybe we could go even deeper and think about turning ourselves into our best selves, what we can do to clean up, to fix up, to improve upon the foundation that we have inside of us all. So something to think about. Some things that I think about while playing with putty. And maybe, I don't know about y'all, but as a kid, putty was a thing. Before slime, okay, Play-Doh, that's what it was called. I don't know if they even have that stuff anymore, but before smartphones, before video games, before any of that stuff, we had Play-Doh, and this is the adult version. Back to playtime. Yeah. I'll say this. Filming the actual process of doing the renovations, right now that's painting, other times it's doing more kind of construction or even demolition. That's not really my favorite part about it. I actually sincerely enjoy the time in which I'm doing these projects because I'm able to listen to podcasts or audiobooks that challenge my way of thinking, that force me to think about different issues, new knowledge, and I love that. I think that, you know, when you leave school, if school really teaches you anything, I think the hidden message in school is that we actually are responsible for what we learn through the things that we consume, whether that's books, whether those are lectures, whether they're documentary films. And I guess in this last period of life, especially living out here in the countryside and doing all of these projects, I've had a lot of time alone to think, to learn, to challenge my way of thinking. You know, this whole experience of moving to the country from Los Angeles has just been a gigantic learning experience, one in which I've challenged all preconceptions that I had from my previous life, and I've had to adapt and learn. I've been forced to learn new things. And challenging whatever mental resistance I have doing that, while painful in the moment, is actually where the growth happens. So, I don't know, there's something like the philosophical tradesman that happens out here when I'm working on projects. I get the time and the space to think. And in this hectic world in which time is such a valuable commodity, having this time, especially time alone, with the freedom of thought, the fact that where we live is so quiet, like right now I can hear the stream rushing. There's a small waterfall just out behind the camera here, and I can hear that. And that is a beautiful thing. It gives me this background, this homeostasis of sound, natural sounds, birds chirping, wind in the trees, waterfalls, and that gives me the ability to think about life and to think about what's important in my life. You know, as a creative person, as a creator online, it can be challenging to consistently show up and put out content, put that out into the world. You know, I think the biggest challenge for creative endeavors is self-doubt. It's the perfectionism that can paralyze and make you end up not publishing, not putting out, questioning yourself, your worth, your path. And I don't know where this path will lead me, but the journey itself has been so rewarding. And I feel like every day out here, whether I'm working at the computer and creating content for you, or I'm out here working on a project, or I'm on the land working on a project, I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly absorbing new skills, new viewpoints, and new perspectives. And at the end of the day, I think that's what it's all about. Finding a way to challenge ourselves, to learn new skills, to learn new perspectives, and to absorb it all so that it becomes a part of you at your central core. So That's that for today. I feel good. I've made progress in here, but it's Friday afternoon at 4:30, and I think it's time to wrap things up, get inside, get cooking, and have a nice relaxing evening. So I'll try to throw together some more stuff for this vlog tomorrow, but if I don't, and this is it, thanks for watching. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming back and supporting this channel, supporting my creative endeavors. I feel really excited about the near future. I feel really inspired. And I'm also exploring new ways and new creative outlets. So I appreciate you all being here. Lanka just walked in. I'm getting a phone call from my wife, and so I think it's time to say goodbye. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend. Much love.